Hello, my name is Cristina deVallescar, and I am here with Miss Emilie Autumn today in Atlanta at the Loft, and she is about to go on in a few hours for her amazing tour for Fight Like a Girl.
That is correct.
And we're here just to ask her a few questions and get to know her a little better. So, first of all, I want to start out with your outfit. I love the way you dress.
The thing is, this is basically, these are bus clothes. This is pretty much pajamas. But once I put on this, it's like a great hat. When it's a bad hair day, it doesn't matter.
It's the finishing touch.
So this is kind of like my go-to. Now I am fabulous. Now I look like I should be on stage, and I can demand that place. But without this, I'm in my jammies.
Really?
Look at these shoes. They're so comfy. They're like slippers.
It's like you look like a piece of art. So that's what
I'm just gonna leave it on that. Yes. Yes. I accept. I am art. So good. Yeah.
I like that. And then do you do your own makeup? Or
I do.
You do?
This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of what is going to become very sparkly and dramatic. But we always treat it, I mean, you'll see the girls as well on stage with me. It's like we deck out like this is a full Broadway musical that you need to be able to see from the back of a massive 5,000 seat, I was going to say 5,000 foot, that too, theater. So yeah, we take this very seriously when it comes to makeup. Okay, this morning Veronica in my band and she was also wearing a flower headdress situation, and so we're walking around at the art museum just right down the street, which is amazing. And there was this little blonde girl, probably like 4 years old, and she was looking at us, and she was just like fairies. And I thought, we could have changed this kid's life by just walking around, looking like crazy people. And now she knows that's possible. That's something I can do.
There are fairies.
There are fairies, and hopefully she'll grow up to be one of them and be brave enough to look like this out on the street as well. So I would like to think so.
Well,
I'm sure
you've inspired a lot of people. Can you talk to me a little about like fans that you've met, or?
I think there's an overriding theme of the show, the flag concept of just my MO of everything that I do, that like down to one word is empowerment. And the reason I believe that we have such a wildly diverse audience, age, genre, sexuality, everything, is because that is a concept that everybody needs, whether they are bipolar, whether they've just had a really bad day, or whether everything's perfect. Everybody needs more power. Everybody needs to take back something that they feel like they've lost. We all have that. And so I think that is the primary message, and my goal is people who listen to a song, or really like the ideal way of experiencing it is the live show. That's what it's all about. So, and the records are put out as a soundtrack to the live show. It isn't like the record and then the show supports it. It's completely the other way around. So the goal for me when I am putting on this production is that people will leave feeling more proud of themselves, feeling more empowered, feeling more creative, more brave in expressing their individuality. And that is why I think we draw the different, the street cultures of, different fashions, different lifestyles, all those things that are considered alternative that aren't really that alternative.
No.
And they shouldn't be. But all of that, they're alternative in the way that women are considered a minority, which in reality we're 51%, which to me means majority. So that's what's up. And that's kind of what this is about, is everybody just taking back. Well, yeah.
I love
that's the thing. And that can apply to everybody. And it is not an insult, and it is not discriminatory. It's an example of taking something that's meant to be very insulting and turning it into one of the best compliments.
It is. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I love that. I didn't even think of it that way. It like all intermingles.
Exactly.
Which I love.
Yeah.
Okay, so another subject that is kind of, I guess, when I was researching you, which I just love to do, I was thinking, and I was kind of comparing you to, I guess, this new age of artists that are coming along that are very theatrical.
Right.
And I'm a theater major, so I appreciate all of you.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
All right.
I was thinking about it, and have people compared you to certain artists? or said like in the same genre
Really?
as certain artists?
Oddly enough, no, because the music itself is really genreless. There's nothing, and it's really because it combines so much, and really combining the old with the new, that, I mean, it happens, but I don't myself know of anything that is like this, because if I did, I would probably work to make it different than that thing.
Yeah.
So I luckily have not, to my face anyway, been compared with anybody, because it just simply wouldn't be accurate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you're very raw and unique, and I think that's something that, like you said earlier, your fans like drive towards, because they're all so unique.
That's the thing. It's like what's happened with the fan base, which we call plague rats, or they call themselves that, and I do as well. Those are characters from my book and all of these things, is because I hate the word fan. To me, it's like, I know most people don't have an alternate term for it. Exactly. It's like fanatic. It's kind of, it implies that they're kind of out of their minds for some whatever, and not in a good way. And I just hate that word, because it puts them kind of in this down position.
Like
and
below.
I really, and I really that makes me uncomfortable. I don't have that ego about myself. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I wish that I did, but I just don't. So I like to feel that we're all on the same equal level, and that's another thing that has happened with the Plague Rats, is that they've created an absolute community that exists even when I'm not there, and they take it to a degree like all over the world. I'll hear about in Russia and Japan, wherever they're having these things called muffin meetups, where they will get together, and because there's this mad tea party situation that's part of my whole world, so hence the muffins. They call themselves muffins as well. They are the muffins. And so they have these tea parties, these get-togethers. They have dances. They have whatever that they get together and do and discuss and celebrate themselves. They bake, they sew, they get really creative. They make their own costumes. I mean, that's what a lot of people here will probably do tonight. And, well, yes, most definitely. You can't buy this at H&M. Although if you could, how awesome would that be?
That would be awesome.
Damn, I would go shopping a lot more.
I think you should look into that later.
You
Maybe
think so?
your own clothesline.
We'll talk about it.
I think that'd be awesome.
About it. There's so much going on, but yeah, that has come up before.
Yeah, because I mean,
God, you have so much
I
to
look
think
at
about.
everything, and I just want to. I feel like a little kid
Do you just want to
looking
look?
at you.
Do you want to just look
I just
want to
like stare and look.
Oh God, mutual. I assure you.
No, yes, I'm definitely an analyzer, and so it's funny because I stare, but I think that people like you and that are so artistic and raw, like they want to be stared at. Am I right?
That's really interesting, because I've never thought of it like that way. I don't think, in my case, I don't think I want to be stared at when it's a personal connection with someone like yourself, that there's a reason for this, because when you look at me, you're expressing an openness that draws me into your eyes, and I like it.
Yeah.
But it's that same thing, because you're saying I have the capacity to look into your soul, or at least past your top, and although that's good too, and by you giving me that, then I will give you back the same thing. So in that way, it isn't at all in the sort of, and some artists are like this, I suppose, but that sort of cry for attention, like I must express myself, so look at me, and it isn't like that at all. But I, as well as hopefully most people, do always desire a soul connection, especially with someone that you haven't known for a long time, or you don't know very well, that it reminds you that's possible. Like, you don't need to have this long-standing relationship leading up to a connection, and that's just a beautiful thing. And it also, relating it to like stage situation, absolutely happens when people are right up close to the stage, and I do try to take these magical moments and really, really connect with somebody, knowing like neither of us are going to forget this moment in our entire lives.
That's so cool. I've never thought of it that way. Well, can I ask you one last thing?
You can ask me anything you like.
Okay, so your book.
Yes.
I'm going to read it. I didn't yet, but
it's a big book, so
it's.
I hope you do. I hope you like it, but don't even worry. It's a big project. It's an undertaking to get
I'm
through.
excited about it.
Thank
so
you.
I love
It's
stuff
fun.
like that.
It is fun.
And has there been any controversy that you've come across with it yet?
Very, very, very little. I think in a lot of cases it's that kind of anybody who would even think to say something negative about something with such a positive message almost wouldn't dare to, because there would be such a backlash against that person.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
From the
really,
muffins.
yes, actually.
I bet.
And like verbally, I could slaughter anybody that could attack something that was so honest and necessary and helpful to, it's like somebody could, I mean, God knows the book is not at all only about me being bipolar and doing all of these things. That is one part of this story, which gives it a context and a reason. Right. So that's where it begins. That's the first page. But then it goes off onto this whole historical time travel thriller situation. So it's been called like Harry Potter meets One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest meets Stephen King. You know what?
That is awesome.
I'm just going to stick with that.
That is great.
So I will completely take that and own it. That the last show that we do the meet and greet situation, which is really a privilege for me to get up close and talk to about 35 people who I ordinarily wouldn't. I don't get the time to go and talk to people after a show. So they come before, we talk about things, and hug and take pictures together and all of that. But there were two people completely independent of each other that said, because they read that and learned about psychiatric conditions, learned about what is really going on inside the mental health care system, which is a huge subject of the book, is telling things that you're not supposed to tell.
Yeah.
And it's really an outing of a lot of things that go on, and that's why it was necessary as well, is pretty much just for justice. Just like somebody needs to know.
Yeah.
And usually people don't trust us because we're the crazies. So who's more believable is like the person in the cell or the person that has the $1 million medical training to treat that person. But it's a bit backwards. So these people are coming up and saying that because of this, the message and the music and just being open about it, that they've gone into the mental health care industry so that they can infiltrate and basically start treating these people like human beings and help to end the mass overdosing of drugs to situations that
they're not doing
that's
anything.
what was done to me.
Yes.
Exactly. It's just you're basically trying to sedate everybody and not treat the actual people, and a lot of times not treat the actual conditions, which are often misdiagnosed. So to me, anybody could say anything about me personally, about my music, about anything that I do, and basically it would mean absolutely nothing in comparison to these people that are actually doing something about it in a way that I'm not even. So I think ultimately, who's more important? There is nothing you could say that could take away that person going in and actually helping people because of anything that I had some small thing to do with.
So empowering.
It just tells me that at one point in my life I must have done something right, that's all that I can really
with those
take away
people coming up to you who are going to be watching this, hopefully
so. Hopefully someone shows up.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
No, I mean also the interview. This has been a great
this too. Oh, there are people. We've been
gonna
taping.
be watchers.
Oh my gosh, we should just edit this whole thing right now.
No,
I thought we were just having a chat. I was gonna ask you back to my house, whatever. I'm very comfortable. I'm very comfortable.
Well, I'm gonna wrap it up with Miss Emilie Autumn so she can get ready for her show and eat her supper and throw muffins. And
eating.
Product.
We're fitting into corsets this big. We eat after the show.
Oh, okay.
Not right now.
So not before, maybe after. But thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Can I have a hug?
Lovely.
Oh God, she smells good too.
So sweet. Thank you.